This is Dr. Ron, and I'm back at you with another episode of Boomer Life Lessons and Stories. Of course, there's always stories, as I've said many times before, and I'm going to tell you one that happened in my past life, and it involved my brother. So the title of this episode is called Sometimes You Don't Get the Credit You Deserve. And we're going to kind of weave our way through this story and then tie it into our careers and the jobs that we do. But before we go there, if you could, please like, share, and subscribe. That will always help me with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so let me paint the picture for you about this story. In 1970, yes, it was a long time ago, I was in junior high school. And of course, I was playing football. And back in those days, football games that were won because of the defense. There was not this big high-powered offense that we see in today's high-scoring games in college and in high school. But in any case, I was in junior high school. I was playing for Fuller Junior High. I was a cornerback, and my brother was a cornerback. That means we were just behind the defensive ends off to the lateral positions of them to defend against any sweeps or runs or passes in those areas. We were the cornerbacks, not the quarterbacks, but the cornerbacks. We were bookends, so to speak. And I suppose that is appropriate because people say twins are bookends, right? We look the same and we're placed on either side of the picture. And that's how we played defense at Fuller Junior High School. And yes, I do have a twin. I think I've mentioned that before. But in any case, we were playing a pretty strong team, and we were undefeated in the season up until that point. And as a matter of fact, we were playing Sheridan, the next to the last game of the season. And we were hoping that we could meet the challenge and beat Sheridan and then go on and beat, I believe we were going to play Bryant in the last game and finish out the season undefeated. But in any case, Friday came, or Thursday night came because it was junior high school. Thursday night came, and we went to the game, and we prepared all week, and there were things that we had to work hard at trying to understand their offense and so forth because they were a pretty good team. Be that as it may, it was a very, very tight game. We scored a touchdown, and we were leading, I think, 7-0. And it just so happened that because it was a defensive struggle, my brother was kind of stellar in his performance. He had 2 interceptions. And if you know anything about twins, they're very competitive. They're very competitive with one another, right? So as it so happened, one of our linebackers hit the runner and shook the ball loose. And I picked the ball up and I ran it 60 yards for a touchdown. Yay. You know, it was one of those thrills of my junior high football career at that time. So I was very happy. And, you know, one of the other thrills that we always got was the next day we got to read in the newspaper about our football escapades because the newspaper always took note of all the junior high school and high school football games we were playing. And they talked about the players and what they did. So it was very exciting because I was really wanting to see my name kind of in the highlights, right? Because I picked up the football and ran it 60 yards. You know where this is headed, don't you? As a matter of fact, my brother and I, we were talking about it earlier today, and we got a big laugh about it. Well, I opened up the newspaper, quickly turned to the sports section, and there in the junior high section, there was a caption, Don Cross picks up the football, a fumble, and runs it 60 yards for a touchdown. Stellar performance, 2 interceptions, and run it back for a touchdown. And I was deflated. You know, there's pluses and minuses of being a twin. One of the pluses, you always have a friend for life. And I love my brother, and he's a great man, and just, you know, there's nobody like him, right? But he stole my limelight. You know, I guess I was 14 years old at the time. It was tough to get over. Not that I held anything against my brother. We even laughed at it at that time, but I was deflated because the newspaper got it wrong. I blamed them for the error. But there was no retraction by the newspaper pulling that article back saying, oops, we got it wrong. It was really Ron Cross, the brother, that ran it for a touchdown. So I had to reconcile myself throughout my career, knowing that he got credit for something I did. But, I survived through it, and, it was a good lesson for me. And the lesson is sometimes you don't get the credit you think you deserve, and maybe you actually do deserve. And, you have two choices when something like that happens, whether it's in your personal life or in your professional life, at work. Somebody steals the limelight from you and you really did all the work and you deserve all the accolades. You can really, I don't know, make a sting about it, is the way we'd say it down in the South. Or you can accept it and say, okay, this time that individual stole the limelight. He got the credit, but really it was the team that really did the accomplishment. You can be big about it and move on and recognize that sometimes things just don't fall your way, even if they deserve to fall your way. And it's a good lesson to learn. Life sometimes is not fair. And when I say that, there's not some big brother out there looking after you and say, oh, this person did that. They deserve these types of consequences, good or bad. This person did that. They deserve these types of consequences, good or bad. It doesn't really work out that way. Happenstance occurs. People make mistakes, and sometimes it's to our disadvantage. And when it happens, we have to pick ourselves up with dignity and respect. And while showing dignity and respect to others, recognize that life goes on. And because life does go on, we will reconcile ourselves to know this, that we'll do better going forward. And sometimes the ball will roll your way and you will be able to pick it up and run for a touchdown. And with that, my friends, I'm going to leave it with you. It's a very short video, but I thought it was really funny. My brother got the credit, and he did deserve part of it, but not all of it. Just a little bit of envy right there. Take care. All my best. And of course, you're always on my mind.